Hmm.
Yeah, why always the strength is a 55? Actually, we started posting the attendance, and most of the people are not attending the classes. If you know those people, just ask them to join the class. Okay, every time we are posting the attendance. Okay, only 55 participants are there. Who are they? 6. Okay, we'll wait for 2 more minutes. I think people are joining. We'll wait. Yeah, okay. Actually, in the last class, we discussed about two-dimensional arrays. Let me increase my volume. Think, am I audible? Please, one of you respond. Okay. In the last class, we discussed about two-dimensional arrays, right? And let me share you my PPT. Yeah, I think practically we didn't discuss this. Let me show you how to print the values. Actually, we already discussed this, but the way we are going to give the inputs, like we are going to give the size at the runtime, and after that, we are going to assign the values of it also at the runtime. So make sure that please understand this thing, which is a very important. So giving a values from the keyboard at the time of an execution. Let me share you my screen. Share, where is it? Okay. Yeah, it's not that one. Programs, so many programs are there. Today. Yeah, see this, actually I worked out. Okay, I will explain it. Is enough. See this, I'm using a scanner over here. So what is the use of a scanner? We are going to give the input. We are going to give the input by using a keyboard. So for the two-dimensional arrays, there are rows and columns. What is a two-dimensional array? An arrays of an array. An arrays of an array, will call it as a two-dimensional arrays. So it consisting of rows and columns. So initial, let me show you. Yeah, this is the declaration of an array. This is, we'll call it as a row, and this is a column. Now what I did, see here, R is a row. For the keyboard input, we have to give input dot next int. So this is an integer. It is essential to call next int. So this is an input. We are using a scanner, and it consisting of a method next int. To assign a value to the integer, we have to use a next int. Okay. Similarly, for the column, that's why I mentioned C over here. is equal to input dot next int. Why? Because we are taking that as a next int, because we are going to assign this value to the integer. That's why we are going to access a method. See this. We are going to access a method, scans the next token of an input as an integer. An invocation of this method of a form nextInt behaves in exactly the same way as invocation of nextInt. So what is in this sense? We are going to assign the integer value. That's why we are going to take a nextInt method from the scanner class. This is a scanner class. So the size has been declared dynamically. This is a dynamic entry. So I'm going to give the values at the runtime. So I assigned the size over here. What is the declaration of an array? If we remove this, it is essential to mention the size. See, I deleted those things and see the error. Array initializer expected. So if we are going to delete this, at least we have to give the initialization. There are so many ways. See this. This is a null value. It can't store anything. So it is expecting an initialization, or you have to assign the sizes over here. Okay, either size or the initialization. Maybe all you know that how to declare a values like what is that? 1 second. 1, 2, sorry, 3, and there is another thing. 3, 4, and 5. See, this is the initialization of an array. This is the initialization of two-dimensional array. We need to initialize, or else we have to fix a size. But here we are going to give the values dynamically. That's why I just stored the values. When I'm going to give the input by using a keyboard, or the value, R value will be stored over here, and C value will be stored over here. So that's why we didn't get any error. So now we are going to enter the rows and columns. So for this, I'm going to give the input. I'm going to giving the input on which basis? If I want to give the input dynamically, it is essential to access row as well as a column. That's why it is two-dimensional. We are going to take 2 for loops. So it starts with a 0, and the length should be an array length. And the length should be array length. What is the length of an array? We don't know. We'll get it at the time of declaration of a size. We are going to give the input, the row and columns. Based on that, dynamically, it is going to calculate the length. This is the right way to mention the size, I mean, the length of an array. So next, I++ and int j is equal to 0, j less than array dot length. So for this also, it is required to calculate the length, because we don't know the length. That's why we mention like this. If we know, if we are familiar, or we have a fixed size, then only we can also take array dot length. We don't know the value because we are going to give the values at runtime. So now inside that, for our information point of view, this is all a string value, but I am going to take I and j values directly from this values, and these are all will be printed directly because all these are under double quotes. See this, all these are under double quotes. So now this is a different way. See this, how it is possible like input dot nextInt, because only a two-dimensional array element, this is the only a single element, because here 0 0 will come. So 0 0 in the sense we are going to assign a single value. We are going to assign a single value only. So this is not an array. This is only a single element. For this particular single element, I am going to give a single value. Okay. And this is the for each loop to print the values. There is no need to worry about this. Let me run this program. You will understand easily. Run. See this. I'm going to take the row size as a 2. This is the 2 by 2 matrix. Consider as enter. And column size, it's a 2. See this. Now it is asking 0 0. Here I mentioned I and J. I and J, and all these are under double quotes. That's why they are printed over here. I'm going to give a one value over there. Next, see, the loop is continuing till the size. Okay, 2 by 2. It goes 4 times based on the length of it. So now I'm going to give a 2. This is a row 0 and a column 0. A row 0 and a column 1. And I'm going to enter. And this is a column 1. This is the next column. Okay. 3 and then 4. See this, the output. So this is the way to do the programming. Every time, this is the dynamic entry. I'm going to give the size of an array dynamically. And here I mentioned the size or, and this is a column C. If we are not going to give this, we have to give the fixed size. Okay. And finally, I'm going to use for loop because it is a two-dimensional array. It should be an inner for loop. Inner for loop is essential to print the values. So this is the main thing for our information point of view. Just I mentioned I and J because which row it belongs to or which column it belongs to. And A of I and J. A of I and J means it's a single element. At every time when the loop is continuing, we are going to assign a particular element dynamically. Okay, now you got a good idea about this, how to give the values dynamically for the two-dimensional array, which is a very important topic. So this is how to access. This is how to access two-dimensional array and give values dynamically. Okay. Now you got the point, right? I think you got a good idea about a two-dimensional array, how to access that and how it will be initialized, and there should be a size over here. So this is a declaration of a two-dimensional array. Okay. Next topic. Wait a second. Let me share my screen. Oh, wait for a minute. My PPT got stuck. Wait for a minute. Yeah, okay. Say this. In the last class also already we started discussing this, but I will start from the beginning. So arrays of varying length. What is an array of varying length? So this is the best example. Just you search it in Google. It's a very, very good example based on this topic. So here we are considering all these as columns. First column, second column, third column, and a fourth column. So how we are going to organize a matrix? So to think like a 4 by 4 matrix. Think like it as a 4 by 4 matrix. So it consisting of 4 lines, 4 columns, and 4 rows. Okay, got my point. So this is having the first row consisting of 4 elements. What I am saying? The first row consisting of 4 elements and the second row consisting of only a single element, and the next row consisting of 2 elements, and the next final row consisting of 3 elements only. So everything has been covered in the inside a 4 by 4 matrix: 4, 3, 2 and 1. So how we are going to organize an array and how the length of an array will be organized, this is for the information point of view. They introduce this topic. So many people think in a different way, like how the length will be varied, and they will think like each and everything. It is not an essential thing. Excuse me, please mute yourself. The class will be disturbed. Let me mute myself. Okay. Okay, I just muted all. So this, it is varying. So each and every condition we need to satisfy. So that's why we are going to check at the level of 4 elements and 1 and 2 and 3. How the length will be varied. How we are going to calculate this based on the 2-dimensional arrays. So we are going to check it based on the 2-dimensional arrays. So how it will be happen? It will be happen by giving a particular size of a particular element. Let me show that. See this thing. So student is a 2-dimensional array. Student is a 2-dimensional array. Sorry. It consisting of a data type integer. And what I did over here, see, only one thing has been assigned. So what is a 2-dimensional array? 2-dimensional array is arrays of an array. Arrays of an array. So this is an array of a particular this array. So I only mentioned the first row itself. I just neglected the column. What I said, I just gave a fixed size to the row members only, like 4. So here it is an empty. So how we are going to vary that length? Based on the column. So the student column 0 consisting of 4. Let me show you that. Sorry, this is okay. They consider this as a row and this is a column. Okay, let me go back side. So this is consisting of a 0. This is consisting of a 0th row, consisting of 4 elements. And next one, the second one, student 1, new int of 1. So it consisting of only single element. And next one, it consisting of 2 elements. And next thing, it consisting of 3 elements. So we variated based on the particular size. Don't you think this is a row, this is a column, this is 2-dimensional array? For our convenience, we'll say this as a row, this is a column. That was a different. So we'll call each and every element basis on 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So basis on that, we are going to identify element. For our information point of view and a matrix point of view, for in our convenient way, we just using a rows and columns. We'll think in that way. It is not like that. It is a row and this is a column. Please remember those words. So that's why even myself, I got confused sometimes. It is not like that. It is on our convenient point of view. People are thinking like this is a row and this is a column. Okay. And this is consisting of, we just declare one of the size of arrays of an array. And next one is a 0 consisting of, we are giving the length, the size as a 4, because we are going to store 4 elements inside this array. So inside our picture representation, it is consisting of 4 elements. So that's why we took that array as a 4 elements. So this is a very important topic for the dimensional arrays. Either it is a 2 or a 3 or a 4, whatever it is the dimension. it is essential to know how the length will be varied line by line. I mean, yeah, in this sense, in this particular sense, row by row. So because at the time of sending the values to an array inside the cloud, you will sometimes send a single array, I mean single element, sometimes 4 elements, and sometimes 2 elements, and sometimes 3 elements. It should be like thousands of records we are going to push there. Each and every element to access from that, it is essential to know the particular size of an array. Then only you can access it. I think you got a good idea about that. So for pushing an element, varying the length is very important. Length should be recognized. Length should be depends on the value what we are passing. Not there should be a fixed size. We should not give any fixed size to an array. In the previous example, how we discussed, we are going to fix the size at the time of dynamic memory allocation. That was dynamically we are pushing. So we should not fix it. If a WhatsApp allows you, please send only 10 messages. I just fixed that. So you suppose if you are not supposed to send any message. So we can't restrict the user. We can't restrict the user. Okay. Okay. 1 second. I got a message. Yeah. We can't restrict the user. It should be a dynamic. And the memory allocation should be at the time of dynamic memory allocation. Okay. All the things will be taken care about by the JVM. Just leave about the JVM. We are discussing about an array. So how it varies the length. Okay. Next thing. Okay, I will give you an example on this. Wait a second. So if you people are want all these programs, what I am doing for each and every class, I will share with you if required. If you don't require, then I won't share it with you. If you are want to learn something new, then I will share all these things. Okay. Okay, let me create a program. What is the name? Varying lengths of an array. Okay, not this. Okay, somewhat different name. So because this is an array topic, just will change it to varying lengths. That was not a bit for our information point of view. Let me varying length. Okay, reflect. Okay, let me type public static void. I forgot to tell you one thing. So this is a tool IntelliJ. Already I shared a link to you. So what is the use of this one is, so here see this option over here, code with me. This is like we can work together if there are so many people. Okay, I think we are all having 70 students or 100 students in our class. So each and every person, if they have this tool with you, we can work together. So you can see what I am typing inside this. This is not like a Zoom video and all. This is just like working environment. Inside the organizations, they will use this type of tools only. Standard development environment, they will call it as. So we can work together. I forgot to tell you about this. How to do this? Enable access and link. So here I'm going to give either edit files, a full access, or a custom. So if you want only watching my watching what I am doing, I need to give only this one. We have to choose a radio button over here. This is we call a radio buttons, and this is a checkbox. So here enabling access, we can speak, we can share our video also at the time of working. So it has been copied, and directly I can share over here like this. See this. This is the link. It has been copied. The link has been created. So if I share this link to you, we can work together. We can work if there are 100 members also, all we can work together inside the same environment like as a team. So if you people are working on particular task like accessing an array, and someone is working on a quadratic equations, so that you can change what are all the things I am doing, and the things what you are doing also I can change. So this is the working environment, like this is a tool will useful for you if you are interested, and if you people are using an Eclipse or a NetBeans. More than that, it is good. It is 100% better than those things, because which is available and you can work on Android over here. Everything will be useful for you. This is for your information point of view. I just shared. Okay, let me declare an array. Okay, int two-dimensional array. This is, let me take as ARR is equals to int of. So here I'm going to give 4. I'm not going to initialize this one. So I'm not giving the size over here. Only this one has been assigned. So for our information point of view, we are giving a fixed size. Let me ARR. Now I'm going to vary the lengths of a particular array. This is an array consisting of, now it has been considered as the first element has been 4 length, and now this consisting of a different lengths. That's why firstly I'm going to take, let me copy this directly so that it is easy for me. The time will be saved if I paste it. Yep. This is a student, right? So we'll take it as ARR. What should I do? Let me change this. Yeah, it is easy now. See, the first one in this space, I'm going to take a first one. I'm going to store 4 more elements. In second, we are going to store only a 1 element, and inside a third, we are having 2 elements, and inside a fourth, we are having 3 elements. So each and every condition has been checking over here. Now let me take print the size. Let me assign the values one by one. Already having some works. One second. Okay, let me print the count also, which is easy for us. See this, forget about this right now. See this, right now I'm checking the student length. Initially, I'm going to check the student length. Let us make a comment this, Control Shift and backslash. It gives a comment to overall this. This is a keyword. Let me, okay. Sorry. Okay. See this, I'm going to check the row count by using student dot length. So now I'm going to check that. And now third row size. Third row size in the sense, let me show you. So every time I need to share the screen, this is somewhat different, irritating also. See this third size. Based on this, we are going to write over there. Okay, let me share that. See this. So now third row size. What is the third row size for the student? 3. Sorry, third row size. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, third one. Third one we are checking, not that one. Third row size. Third row size in the sense, in the 4 by 4 table, not a 2 element. There are 3 elements, right? We are assigning that one. Don't get confused. This is a simple thing. Let me run this program. Okay. This is inside length and this is an outside length. You got my point? Row count in the sense how many rows it consisting of, giving the particular length of an array, student array, and it is giving the particular count inside the rows. Inside the rows. Got my point, right? There are 3 elements are there. So we are going to take that length, not the outside. Think it is, consider it as an outside and consider this as an inside. So it consisting of an array of elements inside. This is an inside, this is an outside. It is easy for you to remember. So it consisting of a length 4 based on the particular student array. But inside that, how we are going to calculate? Like this. Student 3. So we are going to take 3, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So which is the final row? 0, 1, 2, and 3. Which is the final row? Let me know you. Let me share you like 1. How may 1 consisting of only 1 element? So it shows only 1. Yep. See this. I think you got the good idea about this. So this is an outer. This is an inner size and outer size. If we are going to access this, it gives the outer size. If you want to access the inner size of it, it is essential to mention the particular row number like this. Don't you think like there is the student is a 2-dimensional array, but why sir, why you mentioned only single dimension? This is in the sense of an inner. This is very important to understand. See this. This is a 2-dimensional array. It should have throw an error. It should have throw an error because it is not showing anything. And here also, it is not showing any error because we are going to assign the size inside an array. Okay, I think you got the point. This is arrays of an arrays. For this arrays, we are having a single dimension. I think you got the point, right? Okay, good. Let me assign some values for the particular rows and columns so that it will be easy for you. Let me. Cool. This is the first row consisting of 4 elements. I'm assigned 4 elements, and this is 36. And next 2 elements, third row, and this is 4th element, 4th row. Let me print only this one, 3, 1. Okay, run this program. See this 78. 1 second. Where is 70? See this 3, 1. We are going to access only a particular element. Let me use a for loop to print everything. 1 second. Let me mention so that it is easy for you to understand. Main array length, and this is, sorry, but specific, not a particular, specific array length. Okay, this is a specific array length, and this will be like uh, assigning, sorry, there's a sign, the size to arrays of an array. Okay, so assigning the size to arrays of an array. This is an arrays of an array. Okay. Okay, let me take a for loop. Printing all elements. Okay, okay, good. So now I'm going to print all the elements inside an array. Okay. So how our table will be? Already I have seen, I shown you a previous example inside a 4x4 matrix. Let me copy this directly. We can save some time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me format this. I think this is a more trace over here. Control A, Control Alt L. Yeah, it has been formatted. Okay, okay, see this for loop. So whatever it is a two-dimensional array. We need a 2 for loop. So how it will be buried? So based on this is for the inner loop. That's why the student particular specific element will be mentioned. Based on that length only we are going to print. If we take the length of a main array, it will be an error. Okay, I will show that one also. Wait a second. So this is a particular specific length, inner loop. I think we are going to access each and every row. That's why we just going to take the length of inner loop only, and this is the main length of an array. Okay, this is the main length of an array. Let me run this. System dot. So for the variation, for the information point of view, just we need to take like this only. Matrix. Yeah. Let me run this program. We can give it as a dynamic color. See this. So this is the table what we discussed previously. So we just achieved how the array varies the length inside an inner loop. So let me show you the screen. I think you got the point, right? Row count is 4. Inner size. This is the third row size. And this is the specific element we are going to access. And see this. This is the specific element, 78. 78. 3, 1. This is the third size, 3. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. Inside the third, 3, 1, we are going to access that one. 0 and 1. This is the 1. So this is 78. It has been assigned over here. So according to our convenient point of view, we are using \t. Let me show you that. In our convenient point of view, we are using here \t because to give some spaces. And after the outer loop, after the inner loop, we are going to print in the next line. After printing the first line, let me show you that. I think you know all these things in a C language. So this is the tab for the spaces. So one row has been completed, and next we have to print it in the next line. That's why println has been used. And here I used only print statement. Here print line statement. I think you got the point. Okay, now you are familiar. Very easy to understand, but don't get confused. Okay, let me share you my PPT. Okay, this has been achieved. So this is the way we are going to access it. This is a very important topic. Please remember this, not here, in the outside world also. So arrays are very, very, very important topic. If you are good in arrays, you can work in a cloud stores a lot. So you can easily identify the elements and where it will be available. Okay, I think we have 5 minutes, right? Okay, we'll go for the next topic. Yeah, we'll get a sample general idea about that, and then tomorrow class, I think in the tomorrow class we'll discuss the same topic what I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, let me, I didn't prepare the sheet, right? Let me see the, okay. Okay, we have a three-dimensional arrays in our syllabus. Yeah, I forgot to tell you about the bubble sort. Man, why I mentioned there is a sorting technique, right? Okay. Now I came to know that. So in the sortings, we need to discuss about the selection sort and as well as the bubble sort. I think you people are very familiar with bubble sort and selection sort. In what is that? I think in the second or third semester. So in the third semester, you have a data structures, right? So I think you are familiar so that it is easy for me to explain each and everything. So how we are going to use an array and how we are going to sort the elements inside an array. You all already familiar with that and already I discussed about that. So how to sort by using a predefined and user defined methods. So in our syllabus, we are having a bubble sort and a selection sort also. Selection sort, yeah, selection sort and a bubble sort. So tomorrow we'll discuss that one. Okay, and what is the syllabus? Let me share you that. I think this is not visible for you. Yeah, I think is it visible? A declaration. So inside an arrays, we are having introduction, declaration, and initialization of arrays. So inside your textbook, some topics are there, but they didn't mention over here. We'll think it as in our syllabus they are available, but here they didn't mention. It is okay, but selection and bubble sort are very important at the examination point of view because this is your first batch or 19 batch. I think we didn't expect how the paper will be. Actually, Java is very easy. You can easily uh, get a good marks in this. But why don't we can't take any chance? Like they already prescribed a textbook for us. Inside a prescribed textbook, in the sorting, we are having a bubble sort as well as a selection sort. So that's why we have to discuss those topics. Okay. Next one, operating on array elements. Yeah, accessing an elements, accessing array to another array, assigning, sorry. Already we discussed that like there is a of I that we need to mention the size. I think you got the example, right? Okay, I think if you are reading, then it is easy for you to understand. Next one, a dynamic change in the array size. Did I discuss this? Okay. Sir discussed this, I think. Sudhakar sir. Okay, we'll discuss this also because I didn't explain. I'm having somewhat a different manner compared with others. Each and every lecturer having different ways to explain it. Okay, again we will discuss about this sorting and of arrays consisting of a bubble sort as well as a selection sort and search for an arrays. How we are going to search? One is a linear way and the other one is a binary search. So how the binary search will be? There should be in sorted manner, then only binary search will be possible. In the last class only we discussed that. Okay, next, class arrays. I forgot this one. We need to discuss a class arrays, dynamic change of an array size. Okay, two-dimensional arrays has been completed and arrays of a varying lengths has been completed. So these two topics has been completed completely. So and there is a pending inside a sorting of arrays and there is a class arrays. Three-dimensional arrays, after the accessing three-dimensional arrays, these two are very important. Arrays as a vectors and class arrays. These two are also very important because these two things consisting of somewhat different types of methods to access those particular elements inside an array. Okay. And okay, I think, yep. Yeah, we are done. Yeah, we are going good. So don't hesitate to ask anything. Please make sure that daily just take 5 to 15 minutes maximum. Okay, 15 minutes is enough for you. So just simply go through the textbook, or else just browse on your net. Go to the Google and browse what are all the things you want. Please, and if there is any doubt, don't hesitate to talk with me, and there is a mobile number in our group. Okay. 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 Yeah. Good day. You may leave now.